My guest is seated, Apostle Josiah Obing Jr., and he's a general overseer for Power Victory Chapel. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you again.
Likewise.
Yes. Last week you were here and it was incredible. Your submissions were super.
Right.
Yes. And so you had to come back. You just had to come back. So thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you for having me.
So the conversation is how and where you could possibly meet your partner. But you know, I have to also ask you, see the way I put Nathaniel on the spot?
I saw it coming.
You saw it coming, Yes.
Right.
So we would love to know where, the circumstance within which you met your wife.
Right. So I met my wife at school, University of Ghana. I met her in 2008, but she was a friend, and we just remained friends throughout all those periods because at different points in our friendship, I was seeing other people, she was seeing other people, but we remained friends.
Okay.
Even when, my wife is quite a dadaba, so when we're on campus, she would have the opportunity to travel outside, and she would call me and we would talk, and we're still friends.
Okay.
And so when many years after I started working, she was still doing her MPhil at that time, and then we got talking. I was like, we've known each other for a long time.
Why don't we just...
This thing can work.
You know?
And then she at first she was a bit hesitant.
Yeah.
But then I pushed, and then she agreed. And here we are 10 years later.
Ooh, so how long were you friends for?
So from 2007 to 2014.
Wow.
Yeah, we're friends for
That's
7 years.
Yeah, 7 years. That's quite a long time.
So I dated her for a little over a year, and then we got married because I had already known her as a friend for many years. So
Yes.
But
you had already made up your mind,
yes.
Yeah, she's the person you wanted
the
to...
one.
Yeah, she's the one.
So.
Oh, wow, this is a very interesting story. Now, I did mention earlier that we had a documentary where we built on from there, and it's very interesting how places where you would least expect, this lady found the love of her life in a mortuary.
Right.
So, yes, it's like she was mourning her father. She didn't never thought that the very person who spotted her and decided to console her when she was looking at the lifeless body of her father and asking questions, that man would end up being her husband.
Yes.
But in such circumstance, I don't think that if you approach me and you try to do, or you want to be friends with me and all of that, I don't think it will be that easy for me to open up to you.
Well, I think it was a bit easy because in that state, she was sorrowful.
Vulnerable.
Yes, and she was going through a lot of emotions.
Yes.
I mean, clearly from the documentary, she was speaking to the father who was dead, asking questions, who have you left me with, what do I do? And this man heard and then decided to console her.
Yes.
So in that state, the consolation worked, the comfort worked, because that's what she needed at that time in her life. And so if he had gone at that time to propose love, you would probably have received a slap.
Oh, yes.
But he went with exactly what she needed at that time in her life. And then they built from that, and it morphed into a relationship and then marriage. So it's possible.
So viewers, for those of you that haven't had the opportunity to watch the documentary, which is From Mortuary to Matrimony, take a look at this.
When I entered the morgue, I saw my dead father's body lying with other dead bodies over there. When I saw my dead father, that day, it wasn't easy for me.
In the vicissitude of life, love sometimes finds its way through the darkest of times. Meet Gifty, a 34-year-old who has been in search of true love without success. In the depths of her sorrow, she discovered an unexpected beacon of love in the most unlikely places, the mortuary.
When he said the thing to me, I was thinking, it's like the pain, the sorrow just vanished.
Her love journey has been marked by sorrow and disappointment, having endured 2 failed relationships, each leaving its own scars. But it was the loss of her father, a pillar of strength in her life, that shattered her world.
To be frank, I told the whole family that is my last marriage. I will not marry again because first didn't work, second didn't work. Why should I go for the third one? And it is a shame and disgraceful act for me to go for a third one because the 2 children I am having already, it's with different fathers, so I will not get married again.
Alone in her grief, she found comfort in the cold confines of the mortuary where her father's lifeless body lay. It was here, amid tears and...
So that's just an excerpt from Mortuary to Matrimony. When in the 1980s, this drama film, Love Brewed in the African Pot, this couple decided that their love will be brewed from the mortuary. Very compelling and interesting story. But, you know, Apostle Josiah, when the conversation started 2 weeks ago on this topic, one of our guests, Reverend Anaya Prempeh, who will be joining us pretty shortly as well, she did say something that, with women, for instance, some women decide that you don't go anywhere, you're always home and all that. Maybe it's just home and church, home and being. You go for meetings, and then that's it. You don't really involve yourself in social activities. How can you be seen? How can you be supported? But it's all the time that you, as a woman, let me start off with that part, that you have to make yourself intentionally available in that manner just because you want to be seen by a possible suitor?
If that's what you're looking at, if you're looking at settling down, then you have to go where people are. Because if you hide yourself, nobody's going to find you. You are not like gold. They are not going to dig the ground to look you up. So you need to be where people are. You can't just, keep yourselves. If you look at this thing that happens a lot of the time, most bankers end up marrying bankers. Most lawyers will end up marrying themselves, and because that's their space, so they get to find each other. But if you work in an industry or your church is pretty small and you are just confined to these spaces, you may end up praying, God, give me a husband, and you are the one doing yourself because you're not putting yourself out there. You need to be out there, meetings, meet new people. From what we heard Nathaniel say, it was through another person that he got to meet the wife. And it happens. People can introduce you, people can match you, and then you meet the love of your life. So it's better to be out there, to put ourselves out there, especially if you're looking to have a relationship that would end in marriage.
Now let's come to the how, first of all. You feel and you believe that you're ripe for marriage. You're ready. You think you're ready and all of that. Now, the preparations towards it. How can you strategically position yourself in such a way that you would be available or open to meet your partner?
So I believe the first thing everybody must do is that you must be complete in and of yourself. Many people are looking for others to complete them. Many people are looking for others to make them happy. Many people are looking for others to settle them. But if you are settled in your own space, confident in your own skin, then when somebody else comes along, you are able to give that same energy, that same vibe because you have it already. You don't become a burden onto another person. When they are not around, you don't know what to do to yourself because you have been inadequate all your life. You need to find yourself, be fulfilled, and be settled in your space and in your own skin before you go out seeking. That's the first thing. Number two, you need to have the mind of one who is ready to compromise. Because,
sorry to cut you. Before you continue, the very first one that you said, does it go for both men and women?
Both men and women.
Okay.
Both men and women. You can't be looking for, I'm looking for somebody who will make me happy.
Yes.
If you are not happy on your own and you are making your happiness contingent on another person, that is very dangerous territory to be in. So that as soon as winds begin to blow, you begin to face storms, it's in trouble because you've never been happy on your own. And that's problematic. It even speaks to the 5 love languages. One of the things that happens is that people who, for example, would say that their love language is quality time, you will find out that most of the time they don't make time for themselves. So there's a flip side to most of the people who have a dominant love language. People who have, say, quality time.
So they
don't
yearn
get it.
for what they lack.
What they lack on their
themselves.
own. Exactly.
Okay.
So that when they are deprived of that thing, it begins to frustrate them. But you need to build yourself and be complete in yourself. Otherwise, nobody will be enough. Nothing they do will be adequate.
Right.
And that's important. We need to build ourselves as individuals.
All
Very
right.
important.
All right, so let's move on to the
So number 2, to know that every relationship requires compromise.
Okay. Yeah.
It requires compromise. You
Compromise.
cannot come as you are without understanding that somebody is coming with a new perspective, new background, new ideology. We need to merge together to build a strong future together. So if you are ready for a relationship and marriage, then you need to have the mindset that I need to be ready to compromise.
Whew, this compromise matter. Sometimes it's not easy.
No.
Sometimes it's really not easy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've been joined by Reverend Anaya from Fair. Good morning.
Good morning, beautiful. Oh, is that green hair?
It is green hair.
Well, you got it going on.
Thank you.
Ooh,
Thank you
baby.
so much.
Hey.
Thank you. Reverend Anaya, it's always a delight having you here. Thank you for
you,
coming
thank you.
in. Now, we are continuing. I don't know if you remember
Yes, I
the
do.
conversation we started 2 weeks ago.
I do.
Yes. So it wasn't enough for our viewers.
I
We wanted to
know, I
consume some more.
know. Yeah, when people are finding love in mortuaries and all
Yes,
that
know.
stuff.
yes.
Yeah. I told you my story.
Yeah, exactly. But Reverend Anaya, Apostle Josiah, I asked about how can you strategically be intentional about positioning yourself in such a way that you can prep yourself to meet your partner. And he gave out 2 key points. The very first one being finding yourself, being comfortable in yourself, your space, who you are, and all of that. And then the second one is learning to compromise.
Right.
So what would you add on to how the preparation?
So thank you very much, and hello to all the viewers of Joy Prime everywhere. You cannot give what you don't have. So before you even start looking for love, you must love yourself. You must love yourself, and I say that when you're looking for happiness from someone else, like a man is looking for a woman so he'll be happy, a woman is looking for a man so he can also be happy. So when the person comes in your life, what are you going to give that person to make that person happy? So you have to have fulfillment in your life. Not necessarily getting everything you want, but be peaceful with yourself, be content with yourself, be confident with yourself. Because if you are not, you may fall into the hands of someone who is so low in confidence that they will start pushing you down beneath, looking at you and say, look at you, you are a useless man, you are a hopeless man. Look at you, you are a fat woman, you are an ugly woman. And so when you have confidence, those words will not mean anything to you.
Right.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So I believe that what Osofo has said, it's on point, and just adding to it is that build your confidence, okay? Know yourself and add value to yourself. You see, now, maybe about 15, 20 years ago, if you stand by the roadside and you watch the cars that pass, you can count maybe 2 women out of 20 cars driving. About 20 years ago, maybe 1 or 2 women. But today, last time I really took time to look, and it's 50-50.
Yeah.
You know, and we are actually close to 50-50.
Right.
So women are adding a lot of value to themselves. They're no longer sitting home with crossed legs, waiting for their husband to come and pick them and take them somewhere.
Right.
They are getting behind the steer. They are going for their second degrees. They are going for their masters. They are going for PhDs.
Right.
I mean, women are doing it. And so they are adding value to themselves. And that value is translated into love. Because if you come and I'm running my own business, and you know that I'm making money, what are you bringing on board? You have money, I got money. You have love, I got love.
Oh, yeah.
So what are you bringing to me?
Right.
So the man must sit down and check himself. Hey, then you know that it is love that she cannot give herself, which is the romancing, the affection. And so this is what makes the relationship value. Because you got it, and he's only coming to give you bonus. But when you don't have it, you are looking to the man for Pioto. You are looking to the man for handkerchief. You are looking to the man for everything.
Everything.
God, he is going to treat you like, without me, you ain't nothing.
Yeah.
And truly.
Yeah.
So add value to yourself. Even if it's Nkatia peanuts that you can get and sell so that you can put something on the table. As a woman, do it. Don't sit down and cry, I don't have a job, I don't have money. It's not every business that we start with money. It is not. So the excuses are too much. So when you're looking for love and the love sees that you have nothing, then ab initio, there's a problem that the person can rely on to run you down.
Okay, Reverend Anaya, speaking about adding value to yourself, I'll ask you a question, but I want to come to Apostle first. We are in a society where it looks like now a lot of people are beginning to fear alpha women. They have given a name to a woman like that. They are called the alpha women.
And the man is Omega. Omega man.
So if you're an alpha woman, it's like automatically you exude so much confidence. You exude so much. It's like, you can't come into my life and just behave anyhow or just do anything. That's how it is like. So it's like some women are beginning to feel like, okay,
tone it down.
Yes, how about I come down small and try to be moderate with things?
Right.
Because there's a high possibility that I would be scaring men away.
Well, Reverend Nanaya spoke eloquently, and she's right. Just before I answer yours, you see, a woman who is doing well loves on her own terms. She decides who she's falling in love with.
Okay.
You can't use your money, you can't use your possession to sway her off her feet. It's pretty important. Now, talking about the alpha women, you know, any man who is intimidated by the progress of a woman is not worth your time. Any man who cannot stand that you are doing well, you are better off being alone. You see, because it means that for all your life of being with this person, you can't earn more money than them. You can't be more qualified than them. You can't be seen to be doing better in life than them. And that's dangerous. So you don't dumb it down now just to fit in. What happens in future when you know, because you have it in you, so it begins to show forth and you're doing so well, what is going to happen? I feel like you need to do whatever it takes to get the right man for you now. Even if it means exuding that confidence, walking in that your space, but not forgetting the feminine side of who you are. And that's what is important. The fact that you are confident doesn't mean that you lose that feminine side. You still have to be a woman that balances the relationship and the energy the man is bringing. But don't lose. For example, my wife, I tell people all the time, my wife has a PhD. And I pushed her and drove her to do it because before we got married, it was her dream. And I told her, if you don't achieve this after many years of marrying me, I would have failed. It will be said that it's because you married this man, you didn't achieve this dream. So I need to make sure it comes to pass. And glory be to God, she was able to finish her PhD in psychology. She's currently, outside the country on a conference somewhere. And I'm proud. I tell her, when people see you and they see the ring, they know there's a certain man. And
give me five.
And the glory is rubbing off me.
Right.
People see you sitting in a big car driving in town, they automatically be thinking, hey, if this is the woman's car, what car is the
driving?
And you see, so you need a man who is not intimidated by your confidence, by your impact, by what you're doing. Don't reduce your energy, don't reduce your confidence, don't dumb it down for anybody. They don't deserve it.
What should you avoid doing in the house stage for both men and women?
In the house?
The how?
Oh, in the house stage?
Yes.
Oh,
the
well.
preparation stage.
Well, you see, every situation is different. And I have seen strong, powerful, beautiful women falling in love with men who have PWD, or, who are people with disability. I have seen it. A strong, powerful, rich woman who falls in love with a man with who is considered a person with disability. And so how that woman will handle the prep stage is different from how a woman who is going into a relationship with someone who has everything a woman is looking for will. And then somebody who has nothing that the woman wants. So it's different because I may go into love because I need someone who will hold my hand when I'm falling. I may go into love because I need someone that can just put a ring on my finger. I don't care what he does. And so the relationship issues are coming from different angles based on people's experience, people's environment and things. So you cannot use someone's situation to judge another person's, even sisters or brothers. Every situation is unique. But so the mistake that many people are making is the comparison.
Okay.
I'm dealing with cases where sisters are getting married because their younger sisters are getting married. Okay? So I have to. This is the guy I want to marry. This is not the guy for you, Akosia. Hey, you don't love me. You don't love me. That's why you are enemy of progress. You are a witch. You don't love me. Because her younger sister is married, and now the youngest is getting married, and she's not married. It is not a competition. Because you are going to live with this person for the rest of your life. So you must make sure the person carries what you want. And remember, I say that you will never find anything like perfect love.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist. There is nothing like perfect love. You can have someone who fits what you want, not necessarily perfect. So maybe you want a light-skinned woman, you want a tall woman, you want a short woman, you want a woman with boobs, you want a woman with back, So everybody has their desire. But it is not easy to get one who has everything.
Everything,
because you may get the body, but the brains may not be there.
Yeah,
You may get the brains and the body may not be there.
that's true.
If you have a combination of both, something will be missing somewhere.
That's true.
God makes us remember that we are human. So we don't have everything. But so when you are making that comparison with other people, then that is where you are deceiving yourself, getting into a relationship that you don't belong in. You don't belong there. But because of the pressure that you are finding around you. So I think premarital counseling, which I cannot overstress, is so vital and important that it puts things into perspective. And it also makes you know the person that you are finding love in. You know the person better because the counselor will ask questions that will never cross your mind.
That's true.
And that will make you understand, hey, I didn't know that Kwesi has children. Oh, now I know.
Yeah.
So the premarital counseling will bring out issues.
Yeah.
And some people are afraid of what they will find out, so they don't want to do it.
They don't want to do it. That's true.
They want that marriage so bad. They don't care the consequences. But I guarantee you, it's better you know than to get in and quit. Because there are things that you cannot deal with when you don't know. And when you know, you cannot deal with it. I say that when you find somebody that you love, weigh the good sides with the bad sides. If you find more goodness, more things that you love with the person, and you find a few bad ones, wait and see if the good things you found are more priority to you, more meaningful to you than the bad ones. Take that person and fix them. Okay, like somebody like me, I cannot be with a smoker because I will get ill.
Yeah.
So it is something that is not negotiable.
Right.
I will not even consider marrying a smoker. Do you understand? And I also know that my brother died from alcoholism. So I will not allow anyone who is an alcoholic to be in my home as a husband.
Yeah.
And say, I'm going to fix him. Mbam. Which fixing? So remember.
Sometimes fixing is beyond your...
No. If the person is an alcoholic, it's different from the person taking a glass of wine socially. You know, a glass of wine here, a glass of wine there. You know, but if the person is alcoholic, he buys beer before he buys food. He buys beer before he pays the children's school fees. My sister, run. You can fix it.
Yeah.
It is God, only God who can fix that. And it's, you know, so if you're going to rely on God alone, then continue to pray, fast and pray.
It shall be well.
They are fixable. They are fixable. But it may not happen during the time that you want to get married.
Yeah.
So I think that when you are looking at the house, it all depends on the situation that you are in. But don't make the mistake of comparing, especially among siblings.
Okay.
And it's a serious issue that I'm talking about. I'm dealing with two of them.
Wow.
Siblings competing in marriage. When the younger ones are getting married, and so the older ones are pushing themselves. Right. This one had a big marriage. Meanwhile, you told your fiancé that you want a small traditional
simple
marriage. So now the man is happy. Now your sister has gone to do a wedding, and MPs are coming, and entertainers are coming, celebrities are coming. It's all to sell good.
Society makes it a problem because at the end of the day, you'll be spoken about so much. Even if you personally at home, you will not do the comparison. People will do the comparison on your behalf.
But if you care too much about what people have to say, you can't live your life, you can't move forward. Because no matter what, if you do a small one, they will talk. If you do a big one, they will talk.
They will talk.
No matter what you do,
they are not paying your bills for you.
Well, that's true. Okay, so we have some comments. Let me read them and then we'll continue the conversation. Okay. This one says, I'm Gifty from Volta region. Good morning. I met my husband on my way from school when I was in SHS. We are married with 2 kids now. Okay, that's sweet. Hi, Auntie. I'm Honey. I found my love at church rehearsals. He used to pick me up whenever it's time for rehearsal, and we're happily in love. Hey. Okay. Hello, good morning. Please, I'm Fedros from Takrady. I met my guy on Valentine's Day and at the Choice Mart when I took my friends out for fun. In fact, he really suffered before even getting my contacts. Sometimes, you know, stretching them, sometimes it's needed. Good morning, guys. My partner was my neighbor. I moved into a new apartment and immediately I set my eyes on her. I realized she was the one. Hey. Good morning, Prime Morning. So I found my partner during enlistment process to join the military, and God being the center of relationship, we both got enlisted. Went to the training together, passed out together, and now in the same unit together. We will be getting married soon.
Wow, good for
that.
that.
Nice. Next one, I found my love at TikTok.
Hey.
And we have been married 1 year now.
Hey.
We have 8-month-old baby. Hey, on TikTok.
So
okay.
they dated for 3 months. Or 4 months. 4 months.
Hi, good morning to you and your viewers. I found my love at a chemical store after I bought drugs from her and she bought water for me to take the medicine.
Yeah.
That's so sweet. Hello, please. I'm Zainab from Upper East. I met my husband in SHS 3 in 2016. We both completed and I went to nursing and he went to immigration. We got married last year. Aww, that's so sweet. Thank you for your messages. Keep them coming in. Apostle Josiah, as a man, I will ask Reverend Anaya from the perspective of a woman as well. When would you know, or how would you know that you're ready for marriage?
Okay.
Or for your partner?
Right.
As
So,
a man.
As a man, the first thing I will pay attention to is my finances.
Okay.
Because I'm bringing another person into my space.
Okay.
Obviously, if God blesses us, there'll be children. So I have to look at the finances, whether I'll be able to take care of all these added mouths to feed. You know, number two, I would have to check my maturity, whether I'm mature now. Maturity has I mean, age may be a factor in determining maturity, but it's not really about age. Experiences in life, wisdom, dimensions, and all that. So I'll check whether I'm mature enough now. The Bible says, and therefore shall a man live. So you need to grow into manhood to be able to walk into that space. So I'll pay attention to maturity. Number 3, I'll look at the person as well, whether she is ready for this relationship, whether she's ready to move from, let's say, a relationship to become a wife at home.
Yeah.
Pay attention to her character. That's very important for me, because if you look at beauty, if you look at body and all those things, if we take pictures of ourselves 10 years ago versus today, we are not the same persons we used to be. Very different. So 10 years from now, if we take a picture at that time and compare it to today, we will not be the same person. The only thing that is likely to remain and be time tested is your character. If you're a kind person, you're a kind person. If you're a good person, you're a good person. If you're a wicked person, you're a wicked person. You just be a beautiful wicked person, but a wicked person. So I pay attention to the character of the person and see if there's somebody I want to spend the rest of my life with. So.
Apostle, I heard somewhere that usually when in a couple's life, usually as the days go by, years come by, 10 years, 5 years after, and all of that, men have the tendency of your tastes and preferences with the physical appearance of your woman changing. So let's say you met her, she was slim, you like slim girls. Maybe after 10 years' time, your taste has changed. You are beginning to like women who are quite plump and all that.
But after 10 years, the woman is likely not to be the same. So if it's just about your taste changing, she would have become bigger than she used to be.
In some cases, it's not like that too.
But taste and preferences don't change. These
It
are just
doesn't change, so it's
excuses.
not true.
It's about discipline.
Yeah.
These are just excuses people come up with. And you see, at the initial stages of people's lives, they can't afford their pleasures. They can't afford their desires. So as God blesses them, as they grow, as they make more money, now they can fund the things that they were dreaming about they couldn't fund. That is where they will now talk to you about taste and preferences. They have made more money, so now they can afford to have girlfriends and all these things on the side. But it's about discipline. Once you are committed to somebody, and especially from the perspective of men, a man would find other women, but be the first to cry when the wife finds another man. Be the first to wail and complain to the whole world. You cannot handle it. So if you, and I don't want to hear this thing about, men are like that. Men are not like that. It's a discipline issue. It's a character issue.
Right.
And if we don't work on it and excuse ourselves, then we have given ourselves the key to do it more and not work on ourselves. So I don't want us to give ourselves excuses and say that, my tastes have changed.
Yeah.
What if your wife's tastes have changed too? What should she do then?
Do about
exactly.
that? Right. Okay. Reverend Anaya.
Yes.
Being a woman, as a young woman, how would you know you are ready and prepared for marriage?
Oh, first of all, you must have prayed. You must have prayed, which I know many people don't do. They just jump into. They see a man driving a Jaguar, driving a Mercedes, driving a Range. The man is looking good.
Mercedes Benz.
Yeah, that's
over.
Yeah. So the cars are something that are causing girls and ladies to fall in love before they even.
That's true.
The car before the man even rolls down the glass for them to see the face of the person.
Yeah, in love.
Yes, they fall in love with the car. So men, the women are falling in love with cars before they fall in love with the person in the car. Which is a big problem.
That's true.
So a lot of men are now renting cars
just to
go and impress the woman. The first impression.
Yeah.
So it's a problem.
It is.
As someone make a grow.
It's no joke.
No, it's no joke. Because so before the woman falls in love with the man, she has fallen in love with the car that doesn't belong to the man.
True.
And because the men too know that, Charlie, the chick, they check my machine. So he also starts bluffing. And so for him to even put you to sit in the front of the car, hey, no one, you know, then the guy will try to let him drive me to my friend's house.
Yeah, nice to see that. Yeah.
So she gives a blind eye to everything else. The person's Christian life is love with Christ, which is the fundamental issue in relationships. Those who fear God, they will hardly harm you. Emotionally, economically, physically. The fear of God is moving him. So if you are finding love in the wrong places, you go to a shrine and that's where you go and meet your love. You have gone to a shrine to go and kill someone. When you went there, you meet another man there who is also coming to kill someone. And you fall in love. Your house is the den of dead people. Your house is the den of dead people. Yeah. So where you find love is very important.
Yeah.
Some guys are finding women in the club. That's where they know where to go. They were not brought up in the church. They were brought up in the clubhouse.
Yeah, yeah.
So they only go to club.
Yeah.
And so the woman they know will be a woman from the club.
Yeah.
So your house is a jamming home. You jam from morning till night. God is not part of your life. So that is where you find your love. So when you get trouble, you are looking for God. And you are a church girl. You were brought up by a bishop. The man that you have also found was brought up by an apostle. So the home is apostle bishop home. But there are no guarantees that because you are children of ministers, your home will be a special home.
Yeah.
No. You have to work on it. But what I believe is that chances are, finding a person in a church, chances are, will be better than finding a person from the clubhouse.
Okay. All right. Reverend Anaya, we are pressed for time, unfortunately.
Yeah, but there are no guarantees.
There are no guarantees, yes. There are no guarantees. But before we go, let me read some comments. Good morning, madam, and your panelists. I found my wife on her way home from the market when I went to visit my friend. We are happily married with 4 kids. Glory be to God. Okay, thank you very much for this message. Do we have some more? Hi, I met my husband at a singles dinner at my church on Easter Monday, 2017.
That is a perfect place. That is a perfect place to find love.
The moment he saw me, he just go like, you are the one I'm looking for. And that was it. We are married for 3 years now and with 2 boys. I'm so happy I married him. He's a blessing to me and my family. Oh, that's so sweet.
So let me chip in before you finish it.
Yeah.
It's important to find love where love is looking.
Okay.
Where love is looking to be found.
Yeah.
That is the place to find love.
Wow.
So singles coming together, Obiaya ready. They all want love.
Yeah.
So that is I won't say it's perfect though, because nothing is perfect, but that is the best place to find love, where you know that this thing was put together for singles.
Right.
So, and the person is coming before because he or she is looking.
Also looking. That's true. Hi, good morning, Prime Morning. I met my husband at a yam seller and at primary 6, and we have dated for 10 years, and I got pregnant and wants me to abort. I didn't abort and gave birth. My parents asked me to marry him. Now he's blaming me. I forced him into marriage. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, we are so sorry about this one. Well, Director, why would you let us end with this particular message? I wish we had an exciting one to end. But thank you so much for all your messages. This has been a very incredible segment, and I've learned so much, and I hope that you have learned so much as well. My guests have been Apostle Josiah Obeng Jr., General Overseer, Power Victory Chapel, and Reverend Anaya Prempeh, Relationship Coach, Chairman and CEO, Tenaifa Group. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
And I want to invite people to church.
Yes, please.
My church is Authority Bible Church.
Yes.
We meet every Sunday, 3 o'clock in the afternoon at La Palm Royal Beach Hotel, near the Trade Fair. You are invited. Yes, it's a rich place, but it's for everybody. Everybody can come.
Yes, Mr. Apostle Josiah,
Yes,
upcoming
Power
program.
Victory Chapel, Deeper
Yeah.
Conference.
Yes.
Last Sunday, we had the first night with
Yeah.
Prophet Anto. This
Yeah.
Sunday, Shamil is in town,
Oh, yes.
and he's coming. It's
Shamil
going to be
Gessler.
powerful.
It will be powerful. Apostle Shamil will be there. I know him personally. Last week I said it. So, yeah. Reverend Anaya will be there on Sunday. as well.
Hey, I'll be happy, Papa.
That's true. That's true.
All right, so thank you so much for sticking and staying with us right here on Prime Morning for Let's Talk Relationship. But Amirado is in the building, and Rosalind Fellow will be piloting that conversation. My name is Esiedua Komia. Let me say a huge thank you to American Platinum Hair for my beautiful hair this morning. And so stay tuned for so much more. We'll be right back.